That's a cheap shot.
It's so much fun. It is amazing. I love the fact that you can mix spells up and you can have loadouts. It helps a lot. So yeah, and you can mix up your summons. Like if I want some skeletons, I can have a skeleton out. And so these guys. But yeah, I'm focusing on the summoning guy. And my outfit looks pretty cool. I killed a necromancer for this. It was tough. I had to do a little it wasn't a glitch. I don't know if it was a glitch or something. It was a type of bug where I stood on these rocks and he couldn't get to me because he was too strong. There was no other way. And I didn't know it would work, but it worked. And I killed him in sort of like a cheat. Kind of cheated myself. I used game mechanics, so I was smart in a way. But yeah, I got his outfit and he had a summoning spell on him. He had skeletons. So it was pretty cool, yeah, but this is his outfit. It looks badass. Anyway, yeah. I didn't hear about that, but I'm so excited. Thanks for letting me know. It's good to know. That looks like a new spell. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, it does. Hell yeah. I'm excited to use this. Let's see. Oh, wait.
Hi.
Whoops, my TV's Alexis went off for some reason. Okay, let's see. Apparently you can't equip the same spell on both, yeah, I still got to play that game. I got to find another Winter, so I can only have one in one hand. Okay, I understand now. Nah, this is where I run. Yeah, those mobs are very strong. They're like unkillable at the moment. I've only ran into one before this one, but yeah. Nah, I gotta back out.
I'm self-sufficient enough not to have to ask for help. However, I suppose it could help you. I could share some things I found out during my hunts. Oh, it's good news. When the Keepers are allowed to leave the walls again, I have to organize a small party to stock up. And what about the Traveler I mentioned? Was he... Yeah, just as I thought. Well, may he finally rest in peace. Thank you. Huh. I hadn't thought about a reward for you. But I do have some information that's worth more than anything else I could give. A few nights ago, I spotted a weird deer near the old ruined Brock. I had it in my sights, arrow notched and ready, when a wolf attacked me. By the time I dealt with that, the weird deer had vanished. It's yours, if you can catch it. I do, but the wolf tore a chunk out of my leg, and the wound's still healing. I'd rather not risk another nocturnal hunt when I'm not at full strength. Weird ears are skittish creatures. By the time I'm back on my feet, they'd probably be long gone. You're welcome, and good hunting.
I'm not talking to you, birdface. Get lost. Don't even look at me. You want something from me, you just wait. You come here crawling on your knees and I still won't talk to you. Are you happy now? Sober and all? 'Cause I'm not.
He's not happy because I kind of talk. Yeah. He shouldn't be guarding drunk, and I dobbed him in a way I shouldn't have. I don't know. I need the. I'm looking for an onion. I don't know if I can steal it though. Let's see. I'm saving it first. I need onions badly. Let's see. Save. I'm looking for somewhere to make potions.
The people here have been so.
Check it out. They did it. Somebody did it.
Impossible.
See, someone's here. Damned morons! Nobody could be stupid enough to actually fall for this. And yet... Hey, you there! We can't exactly see you because, you know, we're dead. But we can sense that you're here, so...
Congratulations! You've made it to the sacred site of knowledge!
Is that what we call it? I can't believe this shit. They actually fell for it. I can't believe it.
I know, right? Traveler, the knowledge you seek, the knowledge we druids decided to share with you is that...
You can kiss our dead magical asses and get the hell back to wherever you came from. Now scram!
Oh yeah, I forgot. They always need answers, don't they?
Right.
What did you expect? A monster fight? Some grand artifact to carry you back home? No monsters here. At least none you could fight.
Yeah, you people and your treasures.
You remembered to take something with you?
Not really.
Here!
Here's your artifact.
You must carry it with you at all times or else. I can't. I just can't. Yeah. Now scrap.
Put it down. Last warning.
Nothing changes. Nothing ever will. What's left for someone like me?
Stay out of trouble.
I should stay out of trouble. Bloody seagulls! Can you hear me? You flying vermin! Just try landing here and I'll pluck your asses clean. A keep by the sea. What a great idea that was. And what do you want? I'm fixated. Me? Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago. I was just standing watch as usual, and then suddenly, splat! A dozen of them flying overhead, screeching, shitting and whatnot. So I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another four, splat! And they kept screeching. I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the keep, mark my words. And I don't like how you seem to think I'm a fool. So, what now? Should I shit on you for that? I don't think so. I once managed to shoot a few. I thought they'd learned their lesson. Wouldn't be flying over here anymore. And guess what they did? They kept shitting. With increased force. Like they're planning it. Vengeful scoundrels. I need to try a different strategy. Find something that will make them feel real terror. Like the way crows are afraid of scarecrows in fields. I'm sure seagulls also have something that scares them. We just need to find out what it is. A fee? I'm not asking you to hunt down a monstrosity from Grubwood or the Sunken Village. Ah, whatever. As you wish. You'll get your fee. You must think yourself an expert, damn you. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird scarer. They'll learn their lesson and keep away from me. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anyone crazy enough to take up something like this. There is one guy in the museum, Riderick. He's supposed to know everything.
Were you at the pledge? I didn't see you. Yeah. Victory over health. Honor over life. Yeah. Bandits, tribes, Sodom all. Sleep, damn it, is the worst son of a bitch I ever fought. No sleeping, no. The service is eternal. Where would we be if Seawall took naps all the time? You need to serve, not... I shut my eyes for about 15 minutes every day. Sometimes 20. Besides, a true keeper doesn't sleep. He keeps watch. The Old Mother will reward me after I'm dead. But I'm not gonna lie. That potion from Eber, our physician, works miracles. You could stand on the walls all day and night and not even think about closing your eyes. What? Listen, pal, I never asked. I just came in the evenings when I was getting sleepy and took it. And then Yan put it somewhere else. Keeper's vigor. Good stuff. Excuse me? Those were local supplies for every keeper. Shit. Maybe I was stealing. Oh, I never thought about it like that.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that began 623 years ago, with the first keeper, Sewell Firstfoot. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are, as I like to say, inanimate witnesses of the history of the Horns of the South. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South, from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins, religious artifacts. I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally think to be the most notable, or subjectively, of course, the most interesting. Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. We have his signal horn, and also his boots. Those boots were the first to touch Avalonian soil. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself during his visit to the Horns of the South in the 15th year of the Avalonian era. No, we don't. And I'd ask for a modicum of respect for the legacy of the first keeper. And for our museum. Sewell's boots were sewn from 3 pieces of tanned calfskin, tied at the top with a leather strap. The seam goes through the middle of the instep, which is decorated with ornamental embroidery. On the outer side of each shoe, you can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that even after 600 years, they are still excellently preserved, which is unusual considering the high humidity in this area. It means that even the keepers of that time must have realized the historical value of Sewell's boots, and therefore made sure to adequately preserve them. I have to admit that local fauna is not one of my main areas of interest, but I do know the answer to this question, as it is rooted in the history of the Horns of the South. It used to be the case that a significant part of the daily catch was gobbled up by our troublesome coastal neighbors. So the keepers of that time found a very peculiar way to deal with the problem. Some of them, called the seagullers, scared off the coastal birds using specially constructed masks. They made them from feathers and pieces of tanned pigskin sewn together. The reason the gulls avoided these masks is unclear, but perhaps their peculiar shape reminded them of a natural predator? It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sewell Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it, since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper. Drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker, Firstfoot, comes from. Of course not. That was just the first of his many great deeds. Sewell was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery, and charisma contributed to our capture of the South from the Four Dwellers. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say with absolute conviction that if it were not for Sewell Firstfoot, we wouldn't even be standing here having this conversation.
What do you think of scale armor? Scale armor. What do you think of it? The ones all the keepers wear. Sure, maybe it's easy to make and doesn't restrict movement, but it doesn't provide the best protection. Someone just needs to stab you between the scales and you're done for. Lamella armor is much better. That will prevent you from being run through with a polearm or getting shot with a bow. It's also much more comfortable. I told them, but they both said I know jack shit. Besides, the keepers rarely go outside the walls nowadays. Then the quartermaster added that if I don't like our equipment, he could send me out scouting in just my underwear. Perhaps you're right. But if somebody ever stabs me under the scales, I'll go straight to the quartermaster and give him an earful. I read a lot about it. In Volume 4 of the Armourer's Almanac, Arden's Shadowblade describes the differences between various types of armour. For example, chainmail allows for a good range of movement, but it's heavy. It also provides poor protection against blunt weapons, and its production is laborious. No, but I have knowledge from books and a lot of thoughts on the subject, so I know what it would be like to wear different armour. Oh, of course. I mean, I've never made one. I'm not an armourer. But I've read so much about it that I'm sure it won't be a problem. Here's the page from the Armourer's Almanac that explains the process. Shadowblade is a moniker. Arden is passionate about weapons and armour. He has great knowledge of materials, techniques, and history. A true expert. Everything he writes is interesting. I would love to meet him one day.
That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold, because killing a keeper would land you in some serious trouble. You know, here's what I'm thinking. If you stumble over any of our fallen keepers out there, bring me their tags. Sure, they all swore to stay here until the bitter end, but they have families who deserve to know what became of them. It's part of my duty, but since I can't send any more beyond these walls, maybe you could lend a hand. I'll pay you for every tag you bring back. You know where to find me if you come across any more. I knew we'd have to deal with this sooner or later. Time isn't exactly on our side. Mahone's condition worsens with each passing night. It's hard for me to admit, but nobody, including myself, really knows what's going on. Maybe a fresh perspective is exactly what we need. If you find any clues, follow them. I'm only interested in the details, and ideally, the solutions. It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know. Ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish. What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Excalibur. You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life. He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult. Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag? Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take that at face value. Brother Riagan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I'm sorry this happened to you. Still, you have to understand, now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on you. No risks can be taken when it comes to the Red Death. We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it. Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand. There is a local legend about a dark druid named... Slaughter? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this. It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The Keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were unnatural. The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly